Hi guys, this is Ty from Mobile Inventor, and today we're going to be doing a demo of the Jackrabbit mobile app. First thing I'll point out is what we're doing our demo on, which is an iPhone simulator. And you can see there are a number of apps here installed. These are all apps that we've been developing in-house. And we use the simulator because it really does show off most of the aspects of the app without having to do it on a real device. There are a couple of things that we can't show you on here, and in those cases, we'll just switch to a browser, show you some screenshots and some other things. But we'll spend most of our time on the simulator. Now, the Jackrabbit mobile app is not an unknown app that your parents don't know about, that they are told to go find in the App Store. They download, and then they have to search for you. That's not what this is. This is your own app in the App Store with Apple and Google Play on Android. So both platforms covers most of your parents, the devices they use, and we'll help you when your app is ready, collect a lot of different ways on how to let your parents know about the mobile app versus, whether that is App Store buttons, Google Play buttons, or a thing called deep links that allows people to get to your app whether they're on a mobile phone or on a desktop. And they can get a link to your app in the App Store via text at no additional charge. And you can see that these individual apps here are all branded. And so they're not generic. If you are a parent that goes to, let's say, Barron Gymnastics and Swim, you will recognize that app icon. It will be undoubtable to you what that is. You won't have to think about it. So again, own app in your apps in the App Store and Google Play, and it's branded for you. Now, one of the most important things about the app, or about having your own mobile app, is the communication aspect. With the mobile app, we integrate push notifications. And push notifications have been shown to be at least 4 times more effective than email. And that includes not only people seeing the notification, the content of it, but actually opening it and clicking on any items in that content. So by far, at least as of today, notifications are the most effective way to communicate with your customers and actually have some confidence that they're going to see it. Now, there are 2 parts to a push notification, and we'll walk through what a notification is and what those different parts are. The first part is what you would normally see on your phone. You get a notification. You might get a prompt on your home screen, but almost on all phones, Android and iPhone, when you pull down from the top, this is where you would see your notifications. Now, you can see this says no notifications. That's because this is not a real phone, and Apple just doesn't allow us to have notifications on the simulator. So this is where you would normally see unread notifications. You pull down from the top. This would be things like notifications from your mail, from Instagram or Facebook or other apps that you have on your phone that are trying to send you some kind of message. So you have the opportunity to be in that space with your own app. Now, what we'll do here is switch in a second to some screenshots of notifications that we've taken from real customers of ours to show you what that would look like in your own app. Now, the second part of the notification is the actual detail of that notification. It can have a lot more information, and it can have buttons and images and text and embedded videos, documents. It have a lot of things that you want to present to your customers. That detail is accessible inside the app, and we'll show you what that looks like here inside of an app in a minute. But when you have an unread notification, you'll see that number gets changed on top of the app icon. So here for Barron Gymnastics and Swim, I have 25 unread. I need to get reading, right? Okay, so let's show you what the actual notification looks like. So I'm going to switch over to some screenshots here. If you'll just be patient with me. Okay, so this is actually on our help site. You're welcome to go here. It's at help.mobileinventor.com. Once you get there, just click, there's a link to click here to enter the help site. Just go to push notifications and examples. You're welcome to walk through any of this, honestly. It'll help you learn a lot about what the app can do. So like I said, these are screenshots, and let me go up to the top. Okay, so one thing I'll point out is that you can do GIFs, and you can also do videos. There are some restrictions on the videos. You can do GIFs, images, or just plain text. And with all your notifications, you're going to have the name of your studio or gym and the app icon, a smaller version of it. And remember, that's showing along with all of the other notifications that people are getting on their phone. So you've got a branded space right there on their device. Now, along with that, you have a small description. We call it a summary. And that's just enough to get people to say, oh, yeah, I'm interested in that. When they click on that, it will take them to the detail of the notification. So there is one notification that we took a screenshot of here that really does show that well. So here's the notification that shows down when you pull down from the top. And when you click on this notification, it opens up the app and then immediately takes the parent to the detail for that notification. You can see the image is the same. We have a title at the top, and the title is there because there is a thing called the message center in the app that holds all of those notifications. And that's important because if somebody, let's say I as a parent were to cross this out or swipe it away, or I forgot about it, and 2 months later it's gone, it's still there in the app, in the message center for you to go back to. And parents can manage that, and those messages show in the message center even if I have notifications turned off. Right, so here's your detail. Now this detail can be completely different than what's in the notification, and most of the time it is. It can contain as much text, images as you want. You can embed YouTube or Vimeo videos. You can upload documents such as schedules or other PDFs and other types of documents. So you can have really a one-stop place for all of the content that's associated with that notification. One of the things I think is best with the notification is this button at the bottom. We call it a call to action button or an action button. This allows you to drive parents to the place you want them to go. One of the great things about the notification is that it's mobile friendly. So it's easy to do. People know what to do with it. They click on the notification, they read the content, you've got them hooked. Now you want them to do something. You can already see how much better this is than email. So when I click on that button, you can take me to parts of the app, such as a registration page. And we'll show you this in real time on the Barron Gymnastics app that we were looking at earlier. Or you can take them to read a PDF or watch a video or go to your website outside of the app. Really anything online you want them to do, you can do with this action button. Okay, so let's switch back to the app now that we've shown you what the actual notification looks like. Okay, there we are. Okay, so we've talked about what the notification looks like. Let's see it in real time, the actual details. So if I were to open up the Barron app here, and let's start this from scratch. If I can do that. All right. So when you launch the app, by the way, you'll have your own launch page that shows for a few seconds while the app loads. Now we're going to get to the structure of the app here in just a minute. But let's go to notifications down here at the bottom. And you can see that I have all of those unread notifications. They're all the ones in blue right here. And now as a parent, I can click edit and I can manage my notifications, very similar to, let's say, email. But if I click on one of these, this is a good example of using this action button. So if I were to have gotten that notification outside of the app, I clicked on it, it would take me straight here. And I could click register now. And what this will do is it will take me to a camp page that Barron Gymnastics has set up in the app. By the way, this is not content that we put together. This is something their office staff put together. It's very simple to add content throughout your app and then send notifications that reference drive people to it. So for them, this is very successful. They're able to create event pages or sign up pages, clinic pages that they send notifications out about. They draw interest, and then people can come here and just easily register for them. So we'll click register. Now this shows a list of camps. Not too many, but they're all different kinds of camps. And let's just pick one of them. Okay, so what just happened there? I didn't log in. I didn't have to log in, and it took me straight to the enrollment. So if I clicked enroll in this class, I would choose my students and I'd be done. This right here, what we're looking at is the parent portal with Jackrabbit. You can notice it is integrated straight into the app. I didn't have to jump out of the app. I didn't have to log in again or remember my credentials because I have logged in one time in the app successfully. It remembers that and logs me in the next time I need it. It's another fantastic part of the app. The integration that we have with Jackrabbit does make a lot of those things much easier on parents. Okay, so we've talked about notifications and how important they are. You know what, before I go on, there's another part of notifications that we haven't discussed, and that is the ability to send notifications, not only to everyone, like the notification we were looking at, but to target them. And so if you're familiar with Jackrabbit, you know that in the email text families, and really throughout a lot of Jackrabbit, you can target certain segments of customers, whether it be by how much they owe or by category, you know, the class they're in, instructor, different ways that you can, you know, fine tune the audience you're trying to talk to. You can do that through email with Jackrabbit. Well, right along with that email is the ability to do the same thing, but with push notifications. So it is a fantastic part of the integration of Jackrabbit that allows you to reach a specific class and tell them that their instructor is sick and classes are canceled, or to send people, your parents, information about makeups for specific classes or specific days. It's a great part of the notifications. Okay, so let's talk about the structure of the app. Now, there's a lot to the app that you can include. We're not going to include it all because I don't have time for that. If you would like more information on real details, real in-depth discussion of this, then you can always ask for a more in-depth demo. We can do these online for you. But let's show you the basic structure. So when we develop your app, you will have this home screen here. Typically, we put your logo up at the top, and we'll choose a background color that matches what you have in your color scheme, both on your logo and sometimes on your website. We'll build the content into the app based on information that we find on your website, based off a lot of experience. We've developed over 700 apps, and they're all based in this industry, whether it be gymnastics, dance, swim, and cheer. And Jackrabbit is a major partner with us, and we've been a partner with them for over 5 years. So that basic structure includes the home screen here. You'll have a number of buttons or information that people want to get to quickly. At the bottom, you will have a menu button, which we'll explore here in a second, a home button, which takes you to where we are now, my account, which is the same thing as customer portal. You don't have to have both, but typically we do both. If I click on my account, you can see that it takes me to the parent portal. It's a different part of the parent portal than I was at before when I was trying to enroll in a specific class. This is the dashboard in the parent portal. Same thing you would see outside of the app. You can see how much simpler this was for me as a parent to get to. Again, no logging in. It has the menu up here at the top right. All of these things are the same that would show in the parent portal. There is one difference, and that is the student QR codes. This is a way to, if you want to use it, we dynamically create QR codes for your students, for the parent student, so that you can scan that QR code and check in the student. It's the same functionality that Jackrabbit has with barcodes, but this is all done for you already. Okay, and like we showed earlier, we have notifications. And just click done there. Now there's another one here called groups. If we click on that, you'll see this particular app only has one group, and it's called staff. And you can see with the little lock here, that means it's pass protected. And so if I wanted to join it, I'd need to know that password. Now you can have groups that are not pass protected. And in our system, groups are pretty simple. They really are just either pass protected or not ways for people to join a group. And then when you send a notification, you can choose to send it to groups, one or more groups, and it just goes to them. And I would say the biggest use for this right now are for staff and competitive teams. Because you have that integration with Jackrabbit, you can send those targeted notifications from within Jackrabbit. Okay, so like I said before, we have the menu icon over here. If you click on that, you can see that this really does have a lot more information. Now you can have as much or little as you want. When we do the app, we'll do it with the, with the experience in mind. We'll put a lot of content in here typically, and it really just depends on what we find on your website and other places. But you're welcome to say, well, I don't want all of that. I just want a few things. That's totally fine, and it's normal. So at the top, you see some quick reference items, my account. You have something called upload. This is functionality in your app that will allow parents to upload high-res photos to you. They're not compressed or scaled down. They go to your dashboard for the app. Nobody else sees them. And you can do whatever you want with those photos, but you can also approve them to show in your gallery. Now in this app, I know they don't have, they're not using this functionality. So I believe, let's try this one. This is a different app of ours. They've got one photo here. So in the gallery, if you click on the photo, you can see who submitted it and any comments they made. And then you can also share that photo outside of the app. All right, so let's go back to the Baron app. So we were just talking about the user gallery, notifications and groups, which we talked about. Now you see this right here, it says change locations. This is if you have multiple locations, and let's say you have 2 locations or 3 locations or more that have different Jackrabbit databases, or you use different location parameters to segregate classes and other things. We can handle that in the app rather easily by adding locations to your app. When somebody chooses a location at the very beginning, the app will switch to whatever Jackrabbit database and or the parameter for that location automatically. So you can change, in this particular app, this is gymnastics and swim. And so if I were to click change locations, I can choose the swim location. And I don't want it to be my default location, so I'll just say no. And you can see it's just different. And so if I were to click on swim classes, and parent and taught, you can see that this is all related to swim. Gymnastics is not in here. And you can see that we've broken down each one of their programs. And let's go back to gymnastics, since I know we have content in there. So very similarly, if I clicked on classes, let's choose parent and taught. So this flow can be how you want it to be, but typically when we build the app, we try to break down the programs and give it a class description, videos if you have them, just make it better, more informative. And then we allow the parent to drive down to what they're looking for and get to that custom class listing that we showed earlier for camps. We can have these custom class listings anywhere in the app. It's one of the great things about the Jackrabbit integration is that this is really simple to do. Now, if you added parent and taught classes, then those classes would automatically show in this list. If you change times or the number of openings change, this would automatically show in the app. There's nothing you have to go into the app and do. Okay, so let's go back to our home screen and go to menu and just scroll down a little bit here. And you can see that we've got a number of things: tour of facility, calendar of events. So the event calendar also is integrated with your app. If you are gymnastics, we do include a thing called Stat Tracker that allows you to create meets and then track your event scores over time so that you can graph them and see how well you've progressed or not. You can also include links to online outside of the app, such as to watch a video or to your website or to fill out a form. All of those are handled really simply and easy in the app. So for example, if I wanted to go to the Barron blog here, I could click on this. And they don't have it on their website. Let's go to something else. Let's just go to their website. So what I'm trying to point out here is, even though I went to an external website, we're outside of the app, and I can do with this as you normally would do in Safari. If I click done, it takes me right back. So users really aren't really disconnected from your app. We did our best to make sure that that happened so that people didn't forget about the app. Now, we also can integrate with your social media, and you can see here we have Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You can put whatever social media you want in here. In most cases, what we will try to do is to open up the native app. So if I were to click on Instagram, the first thing the app would do is say, does this user have the Instagram app installed on their phone? If they do, we'll open it up and take them straight to, in this case, Barron Gymnastics Instagram page. Now on a simulator, this is one of the other exceptions. Our little test device here, we can't install other apps like Instagram or Facebook. So in this case, the app would know that it's not installed and take you straight to the website, just an alternate view. But in most cases, when I, as a parent or a user, click on any of these, it will open up the native app on my phone and take me straight there. And we found that that is the preferred way of doing it. It used to be that apps would bring in a lot of your social media into the app, and it just became really disjointed, and it became confusing as to what was what. And these social media apps or companies prefer that they have control over the messaging and what the experience is like. So that's why we just open up the native app for each one of these. We also have standard things like call, email, directions, and really any other type of static content that you want in the app. And it's important to note, and I may have said it already, you can change this content at any time. So for example, I can click on clinics and I have a description of all the clinics, and what do you know, I've got a register button there to show me those clinics. We also support other things such as embedding Google calendars. You can have as many of those as you want. And I believe this app has that. So let's see where it is. I believe it's under competitive calendar. Right, there it is. So this is all pulled straight from their Google Calendar. We have some apps that have a calendar for each coach. So there's 30+ calendars in the app that shows their availability for private lessons. Okay, so I've shown you the basics of the app and what you can do with it. What we've been looking at here is a standard app. We really do have two versions of the app. The standard app is what I would say most of our customers have because it just gives them the ability to have a one-stop shop for everything. Their customers can have the app and have access to any of the content. They can register for classes easily. They can get those notifications. It's all kind of wrapped into one. Now, there is another version of our app that we call the basic app, and it's available to Jackrabbit customers only. And one that we have on this phone is called Joy Advance, and this is a basic app. So if we open this up, you can see right away that this is different. What we're taking you to by default is My Account, the parent portal. And you have access to notifications, groups. but there is no menu and there's no other content. So this is about as simple as it gets. It's just the parent portal along with notifications. Now the notifications really aren't any different in the basic app versus the standard app, except for in the standard app, you can have that button at the bottom of the notification that takes them to parts of the app. You can't have that in the basic app because there's no other part to take them to. Okay, so I think we've talked about enough detail for the app. Let's talk about real quick some common questions we get. I'm going to stop sharing here and we're going to go back to our browser. Obviously, one of the things we get asked about the most is, well, how do I get this process started? So to do that, you just go to mobileinventor.com and click on pricing. And you'll see, by default, there are two options that you have. You have the basic option and the standard. If you're looking to start small and simple and just get it done, and maybe you'll think about upgrading later, basic is a great choice. It's very economical, not only in the development fee, but the monthly cost. So when you sign up, once you are ready to get started with the app, if you choose basic, it is a $49 development fee. Once the app is ready, and this is important, it's not while we're working on it, but once it's been approved by Apple and Google, that's when you start your monthly charge. $35 a month, and it's $99 a year that you pay to Apple. That doesn't go through us, that goes straight through Apple. Unfortunately, Apple requires you to create your own developer account, which we help you with. We walk through every step of doing that, and we do Zoom calls to help with that. But it does cost $99 per year. Now, if you're a nonprofit, you can get Apple to waive that for you. So like I showed you before, the basic option comes with your own app in the App Store and Google Play, the Parent Portal integration with Jackrabbit, targeted push notifications from Jackrabbit, enhanced push notifications that include images, embedded video, all of those things that we showed you, groups, your statistics, understanding who's using the app, and a branded app. The standard app is all of that, but with, just to put it simply, with content. It's what we showed you before: social media, calendars, forms, custom class listings, all of that. Now, the development fee for the standard app, as it stands today, we're running a special that will probably end at the end of December in 2020. The development fee right now is $99. Normally, it is $199. The monthly fee is $49 for the first 6 months, and then it goes to $69 a month. And the yearly fee to Apple is the same, $99. So if you're thinking about getting an app anytime soon, I would jump on this. This is a great savings. Not only are you half off of the development fee, but you're getting $20 a month off for 6 months. It's $120 off just off the monthly for the first half of the year. Okay, so when you're ready to select one of these, you'll just choose select. You'll put in your information, no credit card information required here, and you'll click create account. You'll get an email from us, a welcome email. Not much to it, really just directs you back to the Mobile Inventor site to get logged in. It takes you to a setup page where the very first thing we ask for is the development fee. The second thing we ask you to do is to set up a Zoom call with us so that we can walk through setting up your developer account and just kind of get you ready for what other things we might need from you. Really, it's pretty basic. We need your developer account set up. We need your logo and proofs approved for that, and then your description for the App Store. And we give you a template for that. It's very simple. Once those things are in place, we'll take over. You may expect that there'll be a lot of back and forth. That's not the way our process is set up. Once we have all of those things in place, we'll take over, we'll get your app done. And based on pulling a lot of content from your website, assuming you chose the standard app, the basic app is much simpler, obviously. And then once that's done, we publish your app to the App Store and to Google Play. When it's approved, you get an email from us saying, okay, your app's ready, but now it's time to do some online training. And we'll get on a Zoom call with you. We'll walk you through how to use your dashboard, how to do everything you need to know the whole goal of that is so that when we hang up the phone with you, that you're comfortable with how to manage the app going forward. Now, our support doesn't end there, and you're welcome to give us a call or send us an email or ask for an online training again. And we offer support with bug fixes, and we're constantly enhancing the app. And you'll see updates to your app a few times a year with new functionality. And we'll let you know about that too. I have one standard question before I let you guys go that we get is, how long does this normally take? Assuming you're on the ball and you've done your sign up and you've paid your development fee and you've set up your Zoom call to set up your developer account, typically a standard app takes about 3 to 4 weeks, and a basic app is much shorter, anywhere from 1.5 to 2 weeks. Really, most of it all hinges on how quickly we can get that developer account set up. All right, guys, well, it's been a pleasure. Hopefully get to hear from you before the end of the year to remember to take advantage of that great promotion. It will be gone soon. And thank you very much.